You're nearly there. You've won the auction or you've negotiated your terms and signed the sale and purchase agreement to buy a home. Buyers often feel really excited at this point, but from going unconditional until settlement, there are certain things that you do need to do before you get the keys to your new property. One thing that should be on your list is a pre-settlement inspection. In today's video, I'm going to cover what a pre-settlement inspection actually is and give you some hot tips on what to look for during your inspection. By the end of this video, I'm hoping that you'll be well equipped to complete your pre-settlement inspection confidently. As always, feel free to skip around the timestamps. Let's get into it. So first of all, what is a pre-settlement inspection? Basically, it's an inspection that you as the buyer would complete 2 days before settling on your new property. It's your chance to inspect the property and check that all the listed chattels are there and in good working order. It's the vendor's obligation to keep the property in the same condition it was in when you entered into the sale and purchase agreement. You also need to check that the vendor has met any conditions of purchase. It's completed at least 2 days before settlement so that this gives enough time for any issues to be addressed. Having the final inspection at least 48 hours before settlement gives you and the seller time to come to an agreement on any issues that may arise. This is important because if you don't complete your part of the deal on the due date and the seller can prove that they were willing and able to complete their part, then you may need to pay compensation to the seller. This will be set out in the sale and purchase agreement, so make sure that you do read it and understand it. When you're buying a house, it's a good idea to take someone along with you to complete the inspection, someone more qualified or experienced, such as a builder or a family member who has more experience with buying property. Having at least one other pair of eyes there with you may help to spot any potential issues that you may not see yourself. A reminder here, never ask the real estate agent to complete the pre-settlement inspection for you, as they do work for the vendor. It's important that you take along a copy of the sale and purchase agreement with you to your pre-settlement inspection so that you can refer to it during the inspection. It's also a good idea to take along a home inspection checklist. This will ensure that you don't miss anything during your inspection. If you happen to find any issues during the pre-settlement inspection, make sure to take lots of notes around what the issue is, and it's also a good idea to take some photos that you can send through to your lawyer. Contact your lawyer immediately and let them know about any potential issues. They will then be able to deal with the vendor's lawyer around whatever the particular issues are. So what exactly are you looking for during the pre-settlement inspection? First of all, you need to make sure that the property is still in the same condition as it was when you signed the sale and purchase agreement. Make sure that you check all the windows for any cracks and also look for any leaks. If there has been any changes or damage done since you signed the sale and purchase agreement, such as storm damage or earthquake damage, or even damage done by the previous occupants moving out, then make sure that you note this down, take lots of photos, and let your lawyer know immediately. This is especially important if you are buying a house that has previously been tenanted. The next thing to check is if any agreed maintenance or repairs have been completed by the vendor. Sometimes, especially here in New Zealand, we'll see lots of unconsented works completed in properties, and as part of the conditions of purchasing the property, it can be required that those unconsented works are removed by the vendor prior to settlement. If this is the case for you, make sure that you take photos. Sometimes I've had the bank requiring before and after photos of any removal work being done by the vendor, so make sure that you do get before and after photos if this is a situation that does apply to you. Next up, you want to check that all the chattels that are listed on the sale and purchase agreement are actually there at the property. Chattels are property that is included in the sale but is not actually fixed to the property. This can include things such as the stove, light fixtures, curtains and blinds, heat pumps, and heated towel rails. I would suggest to do a complete walkthrough the inside and the outside of the property with your sale and purchase agreement and tick these off as you go. If anything appears to be missing, make sure that you note it down and let your lawyer know. Next up, you need to ensure that everything is actually working. A hot tip for this is that I recommend to take along a small portable device that you can plug into each of the power points to check that they're working. Usually what I'd recommend is taking your phone charger, as this is something small and compact that you can easily take with you. Check that all the lights are working by switching them all on and off. Make sure that you run all the taps and also all the showers on the property to check that they're working well and that the drains are draining away. I would also recommend that you take some toilet paper with you and flush the toilet with some paper to ensure that this is working properly. Check that the heat pump or any heating is working and that any remotes required are there as well. Check that the garage door is working and also that the remotes are there if applicable. You also want to check that all the keys and any alarm codes are there ready for handover on settlement day. Check to ensure that all the previous occupants' belongings have been removed and also that all the rubbish has been removed as well. The last thing that you want to be dealing with on your settlement day is having the previous owner's belongings still at the property or having a bunch of rubbish that you need to get rid of. If you notice anything like this, make sure that you take photos and let your lawyer know immediately so that the vendor can sort it out. It's important to note that the pre-settlement inspection isn't there for problems that were already there when you made an offer on the house. It's also not for the items that were found in the building report that you would have completed earlier. It's for issues or defects that would have arisen between going unconditional on your sale and purchase agreement and your inspection. Don't be rushed or feel pressured when you're completing your new inspection to hurry up and get it done quickly, especially if it's an older house. Take your time, and if you do find anything wrong, make sure that you note it down, take photos, and let your lawyer know immediately. Your lawyer will negotiate with the vendor's lawyers on any repairs that need to be made or deducting an amount from the final payments being made on the settlement day to rectify any problems. I hope now that you feel confident to complete your pre-settlement inspection. If you have any questions about pre-settlement inspections, leave them down in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.